Oh, he's here. He's here. He's here, and he's perfect. As you can see, I got my man GunnerKing with me. We're gonna talk Gabriel Jesus. Let's go. Yes, this is the Armoury TV, and I've got my man GunnerKing in the house to talk Gabriel Jesus, who has finally completed his move to the Arsenal, £45 million on a 5-year deal. King, how are you feeling this morning? Oh, this afternoon, sorry.
Well, he's here. Jesus saves. Yeah. Jesus walks. Yeah. God showed me the way because the devil's trying to break me down. Yeah. Seriously, yeah. This is a great signing for Arsenal. Yeah, I'm not hearing it from the rivals. You know, trying to talk about that he's only scored 8 goals last season, never got more than 20. Backup striker to a team that didn't play with a striker. I'm not hearing all that nonsense because I tell you something right now, yeah. Kevin De Bruyne and Mohamed Salah are 2 of the best players in the Premier League right now. And what were they? Bit part players at Chelsea. Imagine judging them on their time at Chelsea, yeah, to say they were poor, yeah. Imagine 2 of the world's best managers in Klopp and Pep did that, yeah. So these jealous rivals, yeah, they just need to stop. And another thing, trying to say that this doesn't demonstrate that we've got pull. We've gone to the champions of England for 3 consecutive seasons, taken one of their players when we haven't had Champions League football for 6 years, when we finished 5th last season, and I'm supposed to believe that Arsenal don't have pull anymore.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. And I'll tell you what, you talk to any Man City fan, and they're sad to see him go.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, we all know how high the bar must be for Manchester City fans, given that they've won 3 consecutive league titles. You know what I mean? Given that they've been competing at the very top of the game, you know, for the better part of a decade. So if their fans are truly happy to not happy to see him go, then that should tell you everything. You know, it was exactly the same when people were trying to cook us for buying Ben White, when the Brighton and the Leeds fans were all saying, nah, leave the Arsenal fans alone because they done good here. Yeah. So what I'll say is this. People talk about his low numbers. Yeah. Saka and Smith Rowe had their best goal scoring seasons. Why is that? It's almost like Arteta didn't take them and improve their shooting and their finishing ability. And it's almost like these rivals are trying to tell me that Arteta can't do the same thing with Jesus. Make that make sense. Odegaard bang chipped in with goals. Martinelli too. They all improved in front of goal. So why can't Jesus?
And Jesus is going to help them. He's going to help them as well as they're going to help him.
Exactly. You know, he's part of that learning process for them. You know, he's what we would consider the elder statesman along our front line now. 25 years old. You know, Odegaard previously was the oldest at 23. He comes in with experience of winning at club level, winning at international level. He's won an Olympic medal. He's won the Copa America, 4 league titles, a plethora of domestic cups. I think he's won 14 trophies in total for a 25-year-old.
It was 11 with City, wasn't it? And then, I think you're right. And this is the thing about what I love the most about Jesus. Watching him over we've got to watch him as well because he's in the Premier League and he scored against us and whatnot. But his ability to be so composed when he's in the box, and then he'll react quick as anything when he needs to, and it just excites me because we've kind of lacked that a little bit, especially in the last season. And like I said just a minute ago, you know, he will help the likes of Saka. He will help the likes of Martinelli when they come and cut in and it's I'm excited, as you can tell.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's got great take on ability as well, great feet. He can play across the front line. So in the event that we need to rest or rotate Saka or Martinelli, which I don't think they got enough of last season, that becomes a possibility. Allows for Smith Rowe to be moved more centrally, and also, it allows for us to have someone up front that I think can link up the play very well with the players behind him. His pressing numbers are ridiculous. He is someone that does engage the press from very high up. So I just think all in all, he fits Arteta's system. He fits the way that we're trying to play. He brings experience to a youthful side. He brings winning experience and caliber to a side that is trying to aspire to get back to doing just that. Champions League experience with Brazil, experience working with Pep. I think, it's just a great signing. I think, much more of these to come, hopefully.
Yeah, I think this signing is really underrated by rival fans, but this is what rival fans do anyway. But yeah, he offers so much to that team. Obviously, we've still got a few more to come in, and that's gonna help as well. But the fact as well that he's worked with Arteta is another big thing for me. So Arteta knows what he's getting from him, and he would have drummed that into the players around him as well. Martinelli, obviously, with Brazil, they got a relationship. So I like to think he's gonna hit the ground running. So I want to move on to expectations and in terms of what numbers do you reckon he'll rack up? What's acceptable for his first season at Arsenal and stuff like that, King?
Well, this is the thing. Look, I'm not looking at him and necessarily expecting or demanding 20 goals. Yeah. Like, you look at his seasons with Manchester City, he racks up a lot of assists as well. He's a creative goal scorer. I'm just looking for double digits with both goals and assists. I think that's what I'll be looking at. His ability to bring the other players in. I don't want to put a number on it. I don't want to put pressure on him. I want to see him play a few preseason games, see how he settles into that system. I mean, look, what we need to understand is just because today, just because players settled well and quickly last season doesn't mean that's going to happen every season. So I think, look, we've got a decent run of fixtures in the first month of August where he could put in some decent numbers. I think that's going to help him settle as well. We don't have United until September, I think. I mean, basically what I want to see is just, as I said, double digits for goals and assists. Let's see what the exact number is, and let's go from there.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got a clutch player there. We've seen it before. He scores against the big teams. He scored against Real Madrid. He scored against us, Man United. He scored against many of them, and
he scored against Liverpool as well in the title decider. Exactly. If they had lost that game, Liverpool would have won the title. That was a clutch goal, his second one. So, yeah,
it excites me because he is a clutch player, and you look and people will say, "Oh yeah, but he got most of his goals against Watford last season." Well, it's games like that we need players like that, because Burnley came to our place, they got relegated. They came to our place and got a draw, 0-0 draw.
Yep.
And with a player like Gabriel Jesus, we've got a chance.
We only narrowly beat Watford 1-0 at home.
Yeah, exactly. So, listen, rival fans are going to talk, aren't they? But I was going to go through a couple of the comments just very quickly because there are a few of them that have flown in. Good afternoon, Carol. Nice to see you. Jason says City fans didn't want to sell him. Don't forget, we weren't the only team interested in getting Jesus, so we definitely have some pull, and Arteta's starting to generate his own pull as well. That is very true, and you've touched on that on many occasions. Brenny, I don't get the hate for Jesus from some of our fans. This is a great signing. I think with some of our fans, it's agenda driven. I think it's the whole Arteta thing, and look, let's just hope that they both prove the haters wrong. Guna Gums is in the house. Hope you're feeling all right. I hear you're ill. Savage to Arsenal. What are we saying? Do you know what I'm going to come back to that? Let me just go back to what Jason says over here, and I'll come back to that. Don't know about that. Sounds like interest figure.
I think he's talking about Gums' question. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll move on to that because I did see that just before we went on stream. That I don't know how reliable the source is, but we are in for a Milinkovic Savage, which I would be gassed, King. I don't know about you.
I don't see much truth in it, if I'm being honest. I've not seen any credible resources reporting on it. Obviously, it'll be a great signing. But listen, this week I just want us to go out and get Tielemans. That's the guy I want.
Yeah.
Premier League proven. You know, for his price, you know, I think it's right. Allows us to, because I would rather we took the money that we would spend on Savage and buy a 6 and an 8. So go get Tielemans. You know, go get Seko Fofana. Go get, you know, like we should have got Decore, who went to Palace. You know, he looks a player. You know, like you know, 20 million. You know, like two 25 to 30 million pound players. I'd rather see us do that. You know, just I think my concern is when Partey's injured, and he will get injured next season. I'll put money on it right now. Yeah. He will get injured. So let's go get a 6. You know, one that can break lines and can be progressive from that deep position. Yeah, so personally, I would rather we went round that route than kind of putting all our eggs in Savage's basket.
Yeah, because I mean, the report I've seen is obviously it's nothing solid for me. It says Arsenal reportedly tabled a €55 million bid, that's £47 million for Lazio midfielder Sergio Milinkovic Savage. So I agree with you. I can't see. I don't know how true that is. I don't really believe it. I think for me,
if it's not, as far as I'm concerned, if it's not Ornstein, Fabrizio, you know, people like Duncan Castles. You know, maybe Weaverson, Davison, maybe Hagen. It didn't happen.
Yeah,
the mantra I live by.
I do agree with you. I think for me, I want to see win the Martinez race because that is a very exciting player for me. Obviously, the versatility that he offers us, not just at centre back but left back and in defensive midfield, so he can cover like a Partey or someone.
I've seen us linked to Ndika as backup from Frankfurt, and
you mentioned his name last night as well, and I did look at that after you mentioned him, and I saw a report there that
he's quality as well.
Slight links, and I'm not dead against that. I don't think he'd cost too much.
You'd cost half the amount of money Martinez would, or half the money that Ajax are asking for anyway.
He will. I think it's just about beating Man United to a signing. A quality signing as well would be the thing that probably excites us more about Martinez. But I'm not dead against that. I'm with you on that one. And the Tielemans, obviously, we want to get the Tielemans done because we've been looking at him for a long time. I've always been a fan of his. Everybody else on Gumza and Cannons touched it over the weekend how much they want him at the club. So I think for most Arsenal fans, I think the dream now is Martinez and oh my gosh, he was there, Tielemans. So yeah, I'm overall so far. Look, we're July the 4th. I'm happy. I'm happy with what we've done so far, and I'm happy with what I'm seeing. King, are you with me on that one?
Absolutely. You know, like we've been aggressive in this market. We've gone for the targets that we've wanted. You know, we've come out with 4 great signings. You know, us and Tottenham and City are the ones leading the way for spend at the moment. So I don't know why anyone's continuing to bang on about ambition. We're showing ambition, you know, you know, we can't change things all overnight, but I think season on season from where we were last summer to where we are now, you're seeing a dramatic improvement. Players coming out saying that Arsenal have been speaking to us since January, December. Jesus has said the same, you know, like contact between him and club.
How long was that going on for?
For ages, yeah. So just because we ain't seen it in the news, you can see that a lot of background work has gone into who we're signing. A lot of due care, due process, and diligence has gone into lining up who our targets are and going to get them. And look, there's no signs of slowing up. I'm hearing we're going to drop another 115 million on this market. We've got plenty of players that we can move and sell on. And I'm here,
Well, exactly.
and
We've
I'm
still got
hearing,
that yet as well.
yeah, and I'm hearing that we can keep the proceeds of sale to supplement our transfer budget. So let's see what we do now, man. I think a 6, an 8, cover at wing backs, and if we got money left, a proper 9. I think that's what we need to do.
A big 9, like a
Like
not
a
exactly
complete forward,
Osimhen, but an Osimhen or maybe a Skamaka or a player of that kind of stature.
someone in that mold. Yeah,
Yeah,
someone in that mold.
or even a Tony, because I think I know he'd probably cost a lot, but, with the whole English tax, Premier League tax and whatnot. But
Relative to who we are, would it though? 40, 50 million. Relative to
maybe.
who we are as a football club, is that a lot to pay for a Premier League proven striker?
Maybe not. Maybe.
Mm.
Look, and we've still got a month. The Premier League season to start for another. We're going to have 32 days till we play Crystal Palace. So I'm just going to enjoy this window. I'm going to enjoy the pre-season. We've got the games coming up, obviously, over in America. We've got the training camp in Germany. They're all going to do today. Look, Untouch has thrown a few names here. How are you doing? Good night. So Milinkovic-Savic, Grimaldo, Onana, and Gnabry. I can't see Gnabry happening. I did see a report that he's not even on the list, I don't think.
No, I think it can happen. I think it can happen.
It could happen. I mean, look, like I said, there's still a month. Oh, there's more than a month actually. But look, I think because I've seen Kunle in the chat, he's very excited about hearing the Milinkovic-Savic links, and obviously he's got an alternatively Martinez, Tielemans, Trossard for final. Trossard is another one I wouldn't mind for maybe for cover, but would he want to be that?
I definitely I definitely like him. He's got quality. For me though, I'd rather have Gnabry. I'd rather go at him.
Bring
my son home. Listen, the guy's 26. He's won the Champions League, multiple domestic trophies with Bayern. Big experience for Germany at international level. I think we need more. We need closer to the Finnish article. Reports are saying that he's asking Bayern for 12.5 million a year. That works out to about 260 grand a week. So okay. Our highest earner now is Thomas Partey on 200, and we've paid 2 players 350 grand a week before. So we can do it. It's a question of if we want to, and I think that will be something that we will look at if we're still in this situation in like a month's time or like closer towards the end of the window. I want us to go get him. I just want us to go get him. I think makes a huge statement. He plays across the line, can play as a 9 as well, as in a false 9 role, and again brings great experience to the younger attacking midfielders. I think his link up with Jesus could be saucy. Him on the left, Jesus in the middle, Saka on the right. Oh Lord, we are cooking with gas if that's our front three.
Martinelli floating around as well.
Oof.
It would be exciting. Jason says here the players we're being linked with is also a step up from the players we brought in the last summer. So progressing on and off the pitch, which I absolutely agree with. I'm sure you do as well. Mr. Andy Amato, who I think he's a Chelsea fan.
He's a Chelsea fan, yeah. He's a Chelsea fan.
He says he's impressed about and look, if rival fans are saying that, especially Chelsea fans, then exactly. And then Jason, I think he's asking you a question there, King. How soon do you think it will be before we start seeing players leaving? We still haven't seen that leave. Oh, no. Oh, sorry, I just saw 6 and I thought he was asking you the question. But what do you reckon? And when's that going to start happening?
Well, works. That's already happening. It'll be happening throughout the window. I mean, obviously, we've seen Guendouzi's move become permanent last week for about 10 million euros. Not enough money for him. Don't want to get into it. It's done now. I can't be bothered to talk about that kid anymore. Look, Leno's in talks with Fulham. We've got, I think Ainsley Maitland-Niles, all of these players would have been told, look, you're free to find another club. And once the player's told that, it's not just the club looking for another team for him. It's the agents actively, offering them out to other clubs. So I think in the next 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to see a lot more players leave now. I'm expecting Leno, I think Holding should go if we get Martinez. I think he should. Like, it's too many centre backs. We can reinvest that money. I definitely think we should look at Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Torreira doesn't want to stay. I definitely think we should try and move on Pepe, Bellerin as well. Bellerin's got a lot of interest in him. So Betis wanted to take him back. Yeah. He's a Betis fan, but he's had interest from Atletico Madrid, Valencia, I think quite a few other clubs in Spain. So I'd expect to see him gone. Who else am I missing? I think that's everyone. Like maybe Nelson.
Another season.
Yeah, maybe Nelson as well. Now I think. Look.
Yeah, I think it's
sell Nelson and put a buyback clause in his contract, because realistically, who's he getting ahead of?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Who's he getting ahead of?
Yeah,
so I think
I agree, because there's no point sending him out alone again.
Yeah. Sell him and put a little buyback clause in. That's what I would do. Start behaving like Chelsea are very good at this. If the player does come good, then they've protected them. They've covered their backs and their assets by giving themselves an in, to bring the player back to the club. So, I mean, those are the players I'd look at. And look, maybe Xhaka as well. Maybe, I think he improved dramatically last season, but you go get me a Tielemans and another 6. You've got Vieira that can play in the 8 role. You've got Odegaard that can play in the 8 role. I'm starting to think cash in whilst his stock is high, because he's going to be in his last season next year, and I don't see him renewing.
No, I don't. No, I get that, but look, I'm when it comes to Xhaka, I'm one of those that I don't mind if he stays. I don't mind if he goes.
Yeah, me neither.
Holding, I get what you're saying. So if we do get Martinez, obviously we got backup with obviously Saliba, Tomiyasu can play there.
You'd have Saliba, Tomiyasu, and White as the 3 right-sided centre backs, and then you would have Martinez and Gabriel as the left-sided ones. The money you get from Holding, you could spend on another attacking fullback on the right side. Yeah. Like a Max Aaron, someone like that. Basically a Lamptey. So that when we're chasing games, we want a bit more of an attacking threat from the right-hand channel. We've got more of a progressive right back, if that makes sense.
I will understand maybe if you want to keep them just one more season, because we don't want to be safe. It's the World Cup year. Obviously in the middle of the season, the games will be coming thick and fast. But we're obviously in Europe. I'd like to think we'll be in Europe after February still, and cup competitions. So maybe having a lot of depth in that area, because Tomiyasu missed quite a large chunk of the season last season, so we don't know how much he's going to miss this season. So maybe holding them for one year. Yeah, I can get that.
I just think Ben White and Saliba especially, I'm in an iron about his contract. Great or good, we need to give him assurances he's going to get game time, and I think Holding going gives him that. Because then if he's not starting,
Holding will know that.
If he's not starting, it's him. I don't want to be in a situation at the end of next season where he's saying, I won't renew my contract, and we have to sell him, and we don't even get the 27 million that we paid for him. I don't want to be in that situation. I'd rather we try and renew his contract now, and I'm sure we are trying to do that. And I can assure you,
apparently talks are going on or something.
Yeah, and I can assure you that becomes easier when he's competing with less people, to get a first team spot.
Yeah, no, for sure. What do you think on this one? I think City replaced them with Gnabry.
I've been hearing reports about this. I've been seeing them linked to him, and I can see why they'd want to bring him in. He's a good player. What I would say to him, come home. You're gonna go City. You're gonna end up in exactly the same situation Sterling did, i.e., you're just gonna be any guy in a rotational system. Come here and be at the head. Head up the table. Be one of the leading figures in a club that you love. The way I see it.
Yeah, well, we can go on about this for days, but listen, Give us your thoughts and your expectations on Gabriel Jesus joining Arsenal in the comments if you're watching this post live. Let us know. One of us will get back to you and whatnot. Listen, King, we did go off a little bit, but this is what happens. We start talking Arsenal, talking about transfers, and then people in the comments just bring up stuff. It just flows, just the way it goes. We were going to do about 10, 15 minutes talking about Jesus. We did that. We did do that. We did go on. But like I said, this is Arsenal. This is what we do. We love it. But King, so just sum up. Just okay. Give us 3 words about how you're feeling about the Jesus signing, and then we'll sign off.
3 words. I'm just going to say be excited. I'll give you 2. Yeah, it's a little late.
I was going to say that.
Those are the words that those are the words that our ownership gave us. Yeah, but it's looking like it's finally that time. You know, as an Arsenal fan,
this was a guy. And he'll tell you firsthand that when it comes to the Cronkies, you did not want to mention their name. But I think now we're seeing, since they've solely taken over, they slowly started to put things into place for me. Obviously, you see their teams in America and how well they're doing. So they actually do know what they're doing, I think.
They're winning me over slowly. Yeah, and I think, the winning the Stanley Cup, was it with the Colorado?
Colorado Avalanche, and then the Super Bowl, the Rams.
I think, I think that and the Super Bowl win this season, looking at their projects, they both gave relatively inexperienced managers 4 years and heavy investment. Arteta's in year 2.5. I'm not saying I trust them.
No, we're slowly.
But what I'm saying is I'm being won over because this is the 2nd season in a row now where they've invested, in my opinion, what is more sufficient, for what we're trying to do. The players that they brought in, like this time last season, we're having a meltdown. This Ramsdale, we spent 30 million on him. Like Odegaard, we should have got Maddison. Like who's Tomiyasu? Like Ben White, 50 million to spend on a centre back. Did we need a centre back? Is he going to be the next Harry Maguire? I think Sambi and Tavares, we knew relatively little about those guys as well. And I'd say for the most part, all of them have contributed. I think Tavares and maybe Sambi maybe looked a little raw, a little unready. But at the end of the day, I think, like taking stock of the transfer market, the transfer window last season, we did more good than bad. And now we're signing better quality players in this window and spending more money on it. So
I think what they've done as well is obviously
what can I really complain about with the Concaves at the moment?
Yeah.
The only thing I can say is why didn't they do this sooner? But I can't be bothered to look into the past.
No,
I'm not like these other Arsenal fans. I'm not like these Twitter Arsenal fans. I'm not looking into the past. I'm looking forward to the future. And
that's all we've got to do, bro. That's all we've got to do. 100%. But listen, King, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on again. If you haven't seen GunnerKing talk last night, please watch it back. He had a Monday from the Man United agenda on. Had a good old chat about who they think who's going to win the race for Martinez. No doubt they'll revisit that once he decides to move somewhere. Got loads more coming up with Canners, Gums, the rest of the crew, Niger Englishman. So please make sure you are subscribed. Please do like this video. And listen, as we said, let's just be excited. Let's just be excited. And look, we've got a whole month until we start the season, and business is getting done. So on that note, I've been Mr. Silver Fox. He's been GunnerKing 14, and we are out of here. Cheers, King.